Welcome to the Aegance Offscript Podcast, where we talk to industry leaders who share their stories, insights, and lessons, unfiltered and unscripted. I'm your host, Lawrence, and today we are joined by Karim Makarem, CEO of Above the Fold, a tech hub born in Dubai and Beirut that's been pushing the digital frontier since 2015. Above the Fold is known for combining strategy, design, and engineering into some of the region's most sophisticated digital experiences, from apps and web platforms to data analytics and even metaverse builds. Karim, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me on this beautiful Wednesday morning, Lawrence.
Amazing. Would you mind providing us with a little bit more context around Above the Fold? I feel like I've positioned it to a certain degree, but there's no one better than yourself to give us that context.
I mean, I think you said it's a beautiful intro. It taps the nail right on the head when it comes to saying what Above the Fold is high level. So a quick brief about who we are and what we are. Above the Fold was founded in 2015. I'm a full stack developer and still am a technical engineer. So it came off the back of building very sophisticated models for red brick clients. And it kicked off for a passion to just deliver outstanding technology and being a bridge between non-technicals and technicals. Our scope today does range, as you said, from technology consulting to mobile and web application development, data collection processes, digitization, design schemas, definitely. So we are a full stack agency where we're also experimenting in game development today, Web3, artificial intelligence as well.
Yeah, super interesting. Thanks for that. So what does behind the vanguard of digital transformation really mean to you and your team?
I mean, look, every company needs to go digital in one way or another today. I mean, some companies, digitization to them might just mean a really nice website, a portfolio page or a landing page where people can understand about their business, but be very intrigued to further conversations with them. Some other processes still live on Excel files, on Word documents, need manual processes to sign off payments. I mean, in 2025, the world is moving so fast, and anything that can be reduced from 100% manual operation, take it down to 30. We can't eliminate humans, not yet. We need them, and we need them more than ever in today's age. But if we could, crunch down processing time, let's say, or automation of a business pipeline to 30, 40%, that's what we need to do. And that's what every agency needs to do today.
And how would you say that you're able to translate that vision into your day-to-day decisions?
Well, as Above the Fold, we're digital across the board. So our operations are completely digital. We use many tools out there, not sophisticated ones, yet a lot of tools to basically constantly have our operation digital in front of us and very easy to access, modify, update, and work through. So obviously the basics tools of communication platforms like Slack with bots that basically create our summary, documentation, docs, automatically ship it via Zapier to our Google Drive. We also are very aggressive with Notion automations and artificial intelligence on Notion to summarize calls, to create basic hierarchies and sign-offs between different departments. Our process is completely digital. Even financing is connected basically to the payroll, connected to invoices, due dates. So we are running, when it comes to the ecosystem of our operation, it's nearly completely digital. What remains 100% manual is conversations like this. Is you're a client, we're an agency, we're a client, sometimes two agencies. This conversation needs to happen.
I've seen that you describe Above the Fold as operating 24/7. I mean, how do you balance responsiveness like that with sustainability for the teams?
That's a very good question. That's a very good question. I mean, look, we're an agency that zooming back out, our founding philosophy, let's say, who are we and why are we still very aggressive in operations today and why are we still here? Our main mission is to make technology simple. Okay, we have endless times where people come to us and have created a feature documentation, but it's nowhere close to being a feature documentation. Or the many people that come with, "Hey, I have an idea." It's very hard in the tech ecosystem today to find people that can really have conversations to really help you understand the product that you're building. So our philosophy isn't always to sign a contract, right? It's to have a discussion on why we need to sign the contract before signing that contract. It's to really sit there and go, hey, what are you trying to solve? Is it investment worth the product you're going to build? Do you have a business sense of your monetization strategy? Are you going to monetize? What are your user journeys? What pillars are you going to invest in? So the summary of what I'm trying to say here is that there's a lot of times where we tell clients like, hey, you're not ready and we're not going to take on this project just to take it on. Please go think of 1, 2, 3. These are the tools that you need. Talk to 1, 2, 3 as well. Solve these problems and come back to us. We'll be ready. These people also sometimes, they come back after 2 years. Sometimes they come back with tech debt. I mean, there's aggressive trust in our conversations that we have with clients to start that might come back later. Now, same conversation applies to our team. We are people that have conversations that no one really wants to have, right? We're just about, it's not just about implementing. It's about, okay, hey, the project that you are handling is a 24/7 cycle. It's 7 days a week. The different time zones. For example, Saudi Arabia, you're off on Saturday, but you're on Sunday. Dubai shifts to a normal week. If you're working tech support or issue resolution, then our engineers need to be on 24/7. It is the agreement that we create that creates such a perfect synergy across the board that everyone knows their deliverables. So if you're working on an application which is production and you're from the DevOps team or engineering team on that application, then you are binded to 24 to 48 hour resolution times. I mean, it doesn't become optional. So it doesn't become a problem moving forward because the team are the architects. I mean, we are the architects, but the team are the engineers, right? These guys are the reason we make magic. I mean, we invest in solid resources. We take our time to onboard really high caliber talent. And that rewards us by being able to operate a 24/7 cycle without losing this trust with them, without having to have these conversations of, hey, I'm working 7 days a week. I mean, it's the contract they're onboarded to. It's a contract they signed and they're doing it full-hearted.
Yeah, it makes complete sense. And I think the idea of essentially having the conversations that no one wants to have, as you phrase it, is something that really resonates with me, because at least then it's sort of an open playing field. Everyone's on the same page and understands what the deliverables are, what the expectations are, right?
Absolutely. I mean, our team members, it's a family. We really all are a family because no one hides any piece of information that they're feeling. Issues are constantly discussed and solved as we go. And on top of that, once a month with different resources, we have just friendly conversations. I mean, it's not always just work as well. Sometimes we talk about the most random things you could possibly imagine, whether it be personal stuff, whether it be sharing, our interest in hobbies and sports and having an hour-long conversation correlated to who we are as individuals out of this, super fast, nonstop ecosystem that we work in. So between us and our team, we have extreme trust and open conversations. Between us and our clientele, we have equal open conversations and trust. It's a healthy model. It's a healthy model.
With so many moving parts, essentially so many verticals, design, data, infrastructure, metaverse work, how do you keep your teams aligned? I mean, you've mentioned the use of Slack and Notion, but in general, what is the strategy in terms of keeping everyone on the same page in terms of project delivery?
Okay, it's an art basically to categorize different projects at the same time. That for sure. I mean, now the thing is that innovation is something, and if we stick to that tech stack, is something completely different. Meaning, once crypto came out and the whole bubble, we jumped on board to understand L layers. We jumped on board to understand how we could decentralize data, how that data set can be, diversified across different nodes. We've tested on systems how to create decentralized databases. understanding what's its outcome, where this ecosystem can go in a couple of years, where can it go in 2 years, 5 years, and 10 years, and then we position ourselves correlated to the services we want to offer in that ecosystem. So, for example, when the metaverse came out, we were very aggressive. We bought land in Decentraland and Sandbox. We created Vox art. We created different spaces, different games. We pushed it there. And then we assessed 2-year, 5-year, and 10-year plan. And realized, hey, this is not a vertical that we want to push in aggressively. So we zoom back out. But data science, for example, and data collection applications, mobile design, these are hot in the market, have been hot for 5 years, are still hot today, and will be hot for the next 5 years, right? So once we understand that a pillar is centric to delivering good technology, that's where the head consultant comes to take over that pillar. So each domain has a leader. And under that domain, he has project managers. And under that project manager, there are developers and resources. Now, that doesn't mean it's a hierarchy, right? Because we have a lot of projects where our engineers are the decision makers. They are their own project managers. They are the leaders in their space, whether it be Python or a specific technology or tech stack or automation for our DevOps or whatever it may be. I mean, we draw a chart that the chart can organize itself. And that's why we can tap into so many different markets at the same time or different technologies without it becoming chaos in our heads. It's still extremely organized. It's still extremely calm. And it's a pillar process that makes sure our implementation, our delivery, and our founding philosophy and vision and mission are implemented on a day-to-day basis. Mm-hmm. So it's investment in team. I mean, you can't build a very powerful agency as a one-man show. It just doesn't work. There's only you could only get so far, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. And are you making use of, internal data to forecast capacity or spot potential bottlenecks?
It's very funny that you asked that question. We are working on actually our own model, which is only digesting everything above the fold. So it's digesting per se our quotations and our contracts, and it's ingesting the prices of these quotations, expected timelines, actual timelines, resources buried, expected timelines, actual timelines, and costs that's been paid out. And as we're working on the data set and as we're understanding our data, we're starting to receive indicators or predictions of how we forecast basically 1 year ahead. What would we be changing in 2 years ahead? But the data points are extremely weak today and very low confidence. So there's no decision that I could come and tell you, oh, this is an extremely interesting thing that we found because we started it not so long ago. But yes, that is happening as we speak.
So leaning into the sort of data and analytics side of things, but looking at it from your client's perspective, I see that you offer predictive analytics and data visualization to them. Has there been any feedback from clients where they've managed to use those insights to make more informed decisions?
Absolutely. Definitely. We have data collection applications where it's all about store presence, right? It's about your SKUs, it's about your products, it's about what's available here, what's what shows on this shelf, count the stock here, do this, do that. Extremely dynamic forms for data collection. It's simple for the auditors, but once the data is collected, we mine that data and aggregate it to basically come up with informative decisions for these companies to tell them exactly what they need to do on their next run when they go to market in month 2, month 3, month 4. So they know exactly that, okay, the reason why we are not doing this KPI is because we need to put the position of the can here instead of here, because this is, what's working more based on the data set that we've collected. So has been many incidents in our career where predictive analysis or informative decisions have been submitted to clients that have really made us proud, made the client extremely motivated and proud as well, because they are data-informed decisions that they could actually apply better metrics based on. So, I mean, yeah, data mining is an art as well. I mean, what you see is what the data scientist sees. I mean, you have a very powerful data scientist. They're going to find things that you would have never thought you could find in your life. You have another data scientist, they find different things. And that's why sometimes our data sets are passed between two engineers to basically cross-check, understand, and see what they can find out of the data set. Because the second you start mining, funneling, and creating trees or using NumPy to basically clutter your data set, I mean, it's the way you start, that's how you're going to end. So it's very our data operations are very interesting, extremely fun, but it's also an art. It's an art in itself. Absolutely.
Would you say that the real value lies in the data itself, or in
Definitely.
how the data drives action?
I mean, very good. Okay. Definitely in the data itself, first and foremost. I mean, extremely dirty, uncategorized data just becomes the hell on earth. So, I mean, whereas clean, fulfilled data points really make your life so much easier, right? So, I mean, the beautiful thing about this question is that it's twofold. As you go farther and farther into data and understanding data, once you're building apps for clientele, you could start understanding straight off the bat what are the data points you want to collect. So, hey, if we're collecting this piece of information and this piece of information, this piece of information, once you funnel, just at design stage, once you start funneling all that design or data points that you're expecting to build, you could already start to visualize what are the predictive solutions that you could apply to this product down the line. What is the data going to tell us that's going to drive business to be faster, smoother, and build us up? So the data is extremely important. That's for sure. I mean, let's say 70% is on the data itself. 30% is on the funnel, right? It's on the creative aspect that you try to apply data. It's how many times can you look at this data set honestly without getting extremely bored of it? It's how many times and how can I rework this data and multiple different, diagrams and multiple different graphs and multiple different projections. So I could see, okay, I found this data point, and then I found this data point, and then I found this data point. Hey, do I have one more month to basically assess more, to mine it more, to understand what comes out of it? So 70-30.
You describe Above the Fold as the destination of all things digital. How would you say that sentiment shapes your approach to client acquisition and retention?
A very good question. Now, just to clarify, all things digital is huge. I mean, saying digital, we got digital marketing, we got ad spend, we got ad management, we got communication strategy, we got content creation. We have so many pillars in digital that our core services do not offer. Now, how does it affect, though, client acquisition and long-term relationships? Because we're not the agency that, if we see a successful product, we're going to tell you, hey, go figure this out. I mean, if you're a 500-man team or a 2-person team, we treat you the same way. If the idea is exciting, if we see there's a potential in it, then we want to be a part of your venture. So that part of our interaction with the product makes sure that we're going to tell the client, hey, please go talk to this agency. Tell us what your digital strategy is. Tell us where you're going to invest your money. What is your communication strategy? How are you going to portray? What is your persona? Who are you when you go online? And we help make sure that they have all the pillars to say everything digital intact for us to make sure that our relationship or client acquisition or long-term investment into this project returns as much profit and success back to ATF. I mean, there's been endless times where we have built a lot of awesome technology, and maybe more advanced than its time. But it wasn't the technology that failed the product, right? It was the person behind the technology. It was a startup founder that wasn't able to drive this product forward and succeed in the market as they expected, or as we expected, per se. So every product that we take on, we really make sure that we're seeing its success in the market. We strive for long-term relationships, and that's it's not just the pitch here. Most of our clients are clients that are retainers for 5, 6, and 7 years. So since we started, some of them, which are Fortune companies or not SMEs, right? So, yeah, I mean, we truly take care and think of things that I feel a lot of other agencies don't worry about. This is our job. This is what we're going to deliver. We're design and dev. This is the only thing that matters to us. Everything else is not our problem. But to us, every problem that's your problem is our problem to a certain degree, because again, your success is our success. If you don't succeed, we're not here to stay. And if you succeed, we're going to be together for the next 20 years. So, I mean, yeah.
I think something that you mentioned earlier in the conversation that really resonates with me is the idea of being able to say, no, not right now to a prospect. First,
Absolutely.
you need to get XYZ in place, and then we can continue the conversation. That's often a very tough place to come to as a startup. But I'm assuming, given that you have essentially 10 years of experience behind you, you've obviously built up a pretty decent run rate, and now the ability to pump the brakes and say, guys, let's pause here for a second, go back, get these in place, and then we can continue this conversation.
Absolutely. Look, even correlated to the concept where, even correlated to that, I mean, not all contracts are worth signing as well. I mean, sometimes truly a contract is, put on your table. It sounds amazing, I mean, the prices are amazing, the model's amazing, the team members that are on this project are amazing. Everything makes sense at first glance. But then when you dive deep into the operation, you dive deep into who these team members are, what are their decision-making capabilities, what can they say, what can't they say, how unified is this feature documentation going to be? If we need to propose changes, dictate kind of flows to say, hey, this doesn't work, or this would work, are we going to be shut down because of the organization or who's in charge of what within this contract? Or are we going to be able to push forward? Are we going to be able to make sure that things that we know would be listened to? Or are they going to blindly go into the contract that they have positioned on our table and say, this will succeed? And if it fails, they're going to come back and say, well, the tech wasn't that good enough. So, I mean, not every contract is worth signing. That's for sure. I mean, so it's not just telling people, hey, slow down, take your time, figure this out, solve 1, 2, 3, come back to me with at least this and this. Sometimes the whole contract just might be for you. I mean, there has been incidents where we said no to a contract. It sounded perfect, but again, the fundamentals of technology is being very fast-paced, being very aggressive on decisions that you need to do. And you have nearly daily decisions that you need. Now, that doesn't mean that this is on the client part. Again, going back, we're here to solve these problems and not need to ask on a day-to-day kind of basis, maybe have a one-time a week meeting, once, bi-monthly meetings, whatever it may be. But once we share this piece of information, how fast are we going to move? Because these small things can actually take your project from being a 6-month project to it being a 1.5 year project, and you're stuck between trust, variation order, pushing through to show your excellence. I mean, yeah, we really take time to make sure that the ecosystem will succeed in 2025. I mean, across the board.
So, Karim, if we continue on the narrative of client acquisitions, are there any particular channels within your go-to-market strategy that have yielded the best outcomes for you?
To be totally honest, network and word of mouth is the most powerful marketing there is today. Nothing else. I mean, you could look at ad spend, you could look at digital marketing. You invest a lot of money to get returns, guaranteed. But having a solid reputation in the market, word of mouth is the most powerful marketing that we found today. And it drives most of our contracts today, even today. So we're not very aggressive on digital and social media just yet, but having worked with so many Fortune 500 companies and red brick clients and, the best of the best, worldwide, Berkshire, Pepsi, very trustworthy clients, and building a reputation that we are solid, we deliver, and we exceed expectations really gets the CEOs or boards or chairpersons to really say, when someone of their caliber comes their way, hey, please work with these guys. And It really is an energy, because a lot of these contracts come our way. They're huge contracts, and the agencies that are proposing us to take on these jobs, as if there's no vetting process. Well, that's what we feel, as if that, okay, we don't need to go and send 4 emails and send you our who we are and what we do, and then reshare prototypes and build this for you to try to gain your trust to say, hey, 100% we're going to work with you. It's as if they come in saying, hey, we have this problem. This is our budget. We know you're going to execute it well. We know you're going to deliver. Let us know how you can deliver. And the process just becomes so easy. We create their technical documentation, we brainstorm their solution, we create pivot points, we create user journeys, and then we get moving. So versus a client that comes from our website or from, digital, for example, they don't know us. They don't have, they don't have the product at hand to say, whoa, look at this product and how it's, dominating this space. So they need to go through the natural process of vetting us as if they were vetting any other agency, right? So we would come and say, very high level, right? Hey, this product, because we understand the time it's going to take, the features that you're requesting, and so forth, it's going to cost 80K, let's say. Some of them respond going like, whoa, a company priced me 20K for the same thing, right? There's a lot of pre-development or processing work that happens when it's not word of mouth. But networking events where our trust in the ecosystem has created such a powerful referral model that today it still dominates. It's the number one source of some of the best contracts we've worked on. Absolutely.
And would you say that partnerships play a factor in your growth at all? Maybe it's a strategy partner, maybe it's sort of technical collaborators?
We're partnering all the time, across the board. I mean, again, well, from an operation perspective or digital spend perspective, definitely. You need to partner with different agencies, let's say social, like ad spend agencies. You need to partner and experiment. You need to see what this relationship is going to lead to. Many times we would partner with people, it doesn't go somewhere. And a lot of times we do, and we realize that, okay, this is a very successful partnership. It's doing great, but it's too expensive because you could build that ecosystem for cheaper. And sometimes you say these partners are so good, they're it's a perfect price. We couldn't ask for a better deal. We couldn't ask for a better relationship, and we need to stay together to push things forward. And it's not easy to span to different countries. It really is. Every country has its dynamics. Every country has its lingo. They know who to go to. They know how to diversify. So in powerful markets, you have to partner with, masters of this domain or master of this space for them to execute the plan that works, for them to dictate how, the ecosystem here works. For example, the USA loves billing by hour, but the region here doesn't. So if you had a sales guy that's operating what we operate in Dubai, for example, and the USA, he would be so lost. So you need someone that has the experience there, but someone that also has the strategy and the structure and the communication dialect. So that becomes a package, agency and a partnership, for example.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. So, Karim, let's look internally now at the company culture at Above the Fold. I mean, it seems like you drive a culture of ceaseless innovation. How do you keep that spirit alive in an environment that is very fast-paced and sort of fast scaling?
Again, we have the conversations no one wants to have. We really do. Lawrence, look in tech, there's a lot of noise. There's a lot of noise. It is an ecosystem where there is a lot of white noise. So you shouldn't fall in the hype of the speed. Yes, you need to move as fast as you can, but you shouldn't fall into the hype of seeing all these AI startups, creating multi-million-dollar investments, and Web3 is coming here to dominate, and crypto's going to the moon. I mean, technology takes time, and we have a lot of time to invest in technology, and things will come, things will flow. You will find the space to be in. What's more important is to shush the noise out and listen to what's happening around you. What's happening here? Where should we innovate tomorrow? How to take things slow, yet staying super fast. I feel this stimulates our team members, our culture. It stimulates our office dynamics for people to feel this is fun. Hey, we could have a coffee, talk, work. We could focus on work today because we have deliverables, but it's going to come 2 days where we're going to do nothing but put our feet on the table and really relax and brainstorm, and drive down what happened and create our reports on how do we fix this next month and how do we push this on the next project. I mean, we don't grind our resources, and our resources know how to position themselves correlated to the project. And again, we invest in amazing talent. I really need to say this and say this again and again. We don't cut corners when it comes to our resource selection. We make sure we are working with the best because the best knows they are the best. And when you have that kind of ecosystem in general feel across the board, from your highest position to the lowest, there's a self-stimulation that's happening, let's say. Everyone is so disciplined in themselves that they're constantly delivering, but also having this capability to discuss things that they don't want to just discuss on a day-to-day. They want to feel that, hey, it's more than work here. It's an ecosystem. And yeah, I think we're doing great at that. I mean, some conversations are like not always positive, right? I mean, we tap points on the negatives as well, obviously. But I mean, because we have these conversations, everyone feels that there's no, we don't hide behind any kind of cover. We don't put the resources at a certain pillar and we're at a different pillar. We're one. And we all are working for a mutual success here. We all want the agency to become the most powerful agency in the region. So, yeah, we're doing good on culture. We're doing good on culture.
So having led above the fold for a decade now, what has been your biggest lesson learned about leading in the technology space?
Okay, I could say two. I mean, look, technology is the easy part. Let's just say it. The tech is the easiest part. Because you have two types of technology. Tech that exists and innovative technology. When you're going into innovative technology, you're creating, and when I say AI projects, I'm not talking about wrappers or ChatGPT wrappers, right? I'm talking about real neural networks, building crazy data sets, funneling information or collecting your data that you've had for the past 4 years as an operation and creating a model out of that, and a real model out of that. Now, once you start tapping into progressive technology, let's say, it comes with a price, right? It comes with a hefty price. And sometimes you can't dictate the exact price that you need to actually nail this, because a lot of that process is research and development. A lot of it is research and development. Going to the, available technology today. What you're building is marketplaces, you're digitizing this process, you're building KPI trackers, you're building mobile applications, you're building, a specific case study, car wash, whatever it may be. The technology is easy. It's there. The good software engineer can write a solid backend. Designers can create very well executed user experiences and interface designs. Front-end developers can develop amazing, front-end portals, make sure sockets are communicating properly, chat's super seamless, everything's perfectly there. It's not the technology that's the hard part. It's the people that's the hard part. It's how do you navigate these waters to explain to this person that this is the right route without being biased? How do you create enough information for this person to tell them, check it with another agency. Check this, ask this. Come back to me understanding the technology that you're going to build, understanding why this costs this much, understanding why we're pushing in this direction and not in this direction. It's a psychology. I mean, technology is really extreme. There's a lot of client psychology here, or product psychology, let's say, because it's both ways, Agencies or services is one side, product leader, visionary, level 5, or still level 0, building their products. I mean, it's really knowing how to navigate humans, how to keep them dreaming constantly, but at the same time, their feet on the ground. So it's how do you separate this person into two completely different people, right? So it's definitely, tech is easy, people are the hard part. That's first. Second, as I said, not every contract is worth signing. That's definitely. And third, value in technology comes from the architecture, right? It comes from the blueprints, it comes from the plan to execute. The translating what the end goal is of this client or person and being able to translate it into an extremely technical documentation, into something that the techies will understand how to implement. The bridge between, what I want to do, hey, I have an idea. We have a lot of people that just walk into the office with, hey, I have an idea. I have nothing more. I don't understand what a database is. I have an idea. How do I execute this? Great. It's creating the mold to create the documentations and blueprints for success, knowing that even if I send this technical or documentation to this user or the client, they're not going to understand it. I mean, they're not going to probably understand it. So how did we make sure that the technical documentation that we sent still aligns with their business requirements or business logic that they want to implement? So it's creating that bridge. It's not easy. It's not easy. I mean, translating non-tech into technology takes a lot of patience. Let's put it that way, especially if they're huge digitization projects where you have 7-8 models where you're working on with 7-8 different stakeholders per model, and you need to be a unified source of information, collect all this data, organize the data or their mission or objectives, and then diversify it into different technical documents per model. So I mean, that's where our consulting aspect or technology, our tech consulting pillar comes to play. And just to add to the conversation of AI today, the whole world is asking, can AI replace humans today? AI can do a lot for humans today, a lot. If you're a tech agency and your developers don't have some sort of assisted artificial intelligent model, whatever you choose, to assist in creating basic things, helping create, super long JSON files, organizing your data structures, whatever it may be, you're behind already. Because definitely AI cuts down development costs by a good 20, 30%. Let's put it that way. But it's going to take quite some time for AI to be able to completely resonate, think, brainstorm, and be able to connect the different angles of full product success. And it's simple. It's not theory. That's just based on memory and GPU processing. I mean, the second big tech solve, high availability or memory or cache containers for each GPT that you're running, the second AI can know more, can connect more, and can become a human brain. But that's going to take a lot of time, so that we get there. And this is why we're needed more than ever today, because you have not just the standard noise of technology. You have the assumption where people think that, they're going to go and prompt a full product on any of the products online, and they're going to come to success. Hey, someone told me that I could prompt my app and I could build it in a month for just a subscription fee. That we're far off from that. Good technology, we're far off from that. And again, yes, you could build a single pager product maybe by prompting. But if you want to build a system, if you want to digitize, it's impossible. So, yeah, I mean, thank God. I thank God we still have the momentum and feeling that we're here to stay. I mean, absolutely.
And Karim, if you could go back in time, jump into a time machine, travel back to your 2015 self, what would you tell him?
I would have tried to pass the torch earlier than when I did now. I would have tried to onboard more decision makers to assist, diversify, and push the boundaries of the business more. It's, as a founder, it's very hard. Like, it is your baby. That's a fact. You built a business. It is everything. It is you. You are it. And it's very hard to kind of let go of any part of it. But there's only so much you could do as a one-man show, truly. And I wish, 5, 6 years ago, I got the enlightenment or, something lit in my brain to start saying, hey, you need an operations with you. You need a marketing with you. You need another tech consultant with you. You need. I mean, the decisions that we have taken not so long ago about diversifying our C-suites, let's say, right, and putting more people to assist with different processes and trusting and looking at things way macro instead of micro across the board is a very healthy decision. And I would suggest every business, straight off the bat, know that you need to have someone that you could constantly discuss and feel that, okay, here it's an agency. You have multiple different peoples that need success. It's not just you. If you want it just to be you, go be a standalone technical consultant, right? Be a tech consultant, do that full time. Don't waste your time on an agency. Don't waste your time on budget spends and more budget spends. Go be a full-time freelancer, right? There's an art in creating successful agencies. And I feel this is something that I only found out the past couple of years, right? Definitely not the first 6. So, and that is good teams take you way farther than you could possibly imagine. If I want to summarize the call, it would say invest in super solid team members and teammates. Hire the best. Yes, it comes with a hefty price, but it comes with success. And there's no better feeling than succeeding in product delivery, succeeding in whatever it may be. I mean, your team pushes you farther than you could possibly imagine. Trust, onboard different resources to manage complete pipelines, assure your mission and vision is being compartmentalized, get executed in each of these departments, and let go. And let go. There's only so many hours a day.
Yeah, that's super sound advice. If we look ahead, let's look 5 years into the future. What excites you the most about where digital transformation is heading?
I mean, look, even let's say not as a CEO, right? As just a standard user, life has become way easier with digitization across the board. I mean, you could buy whatever you want anywhere around the world in a matter of 5 minutes. You could shop anything you want locally, groceries, foods and beverage, even medicine products or farm tech products. It just makes life so much easier. Your checkout processes, your banking sector, your healthcare, your government documentation. I mean, everything has become so easy. Your life has become so easy. And that doesn't mean that you are to become more lazy. It just means instead of taking that drive to finish a document, go to the gym. Instead of, wasting this time that you needed to go and do grocery shoppies and park your car and put the stuff in the car and whatever it may be, sit with your family. I mean, digitization really allows the human to let go of things that also we don't need to do. So with artificial intelligence, 5 years specifically, I mean, there's 2 hot products that we will start seeing them really grow in 5 years, right? And that's Web 3.0 and artificial intelligence. Now, the 5-year plan for AI has nothing to do with today's plan for artificial intelligence. It's in terms of the products that we're seeing. But the data sets will be the same. The product lines will be the same. Big tech solve memory, big tech solve, infrastructure problems that we have with artificial intelligence today. What we're going to see in terms of digitization, specifically via AI tools and process lines, is going to be outstanding. The beautiful thing about what we're discussing today is that as we're at the forefront of innovative technology, it's impossible for us to dictate how these tools will be used in real case scenarios in the real world. But the capability of high-speed internet and extremely, advanced GPUs and CPUs today is already showing us miracles that we wouldn't have thought of, even 3 years ago. I mean, we really in 2025 and 2024 have started to see aggressive innovation And it's been a really long time since we haven't seen innovation in technology. I mean, even decentralized or decentralized databases and ecosystems, that was ledgers and documentations and white papers that were done in the 1990s. So I mean, there's nothing really new. It was done for mass surveillance back then. It was done for how to decrypt and encrypt our messaging communication platforms without being on a centralized location. So if we get hacked, then we're safe. So the models were always there. We've been talking about research on machine learning models, and for quite some time, we've been building data sets with Neo4j for quite some time. So the technology, the data set has been there for quite some time. The innovation that we're seeing today is the capability of clusters or GPU clusters to translate this information in such miraculous ways, right? Whether it be object detection models, whether it be generative AI, whether it be text to prompt or text to code or whatever it may be. I mean, it just started, and this is really exciting. It excites me as when Bitcoin dropped years ago, 10, 11, 12 years ago, and we're like, what is this coin? And we bought in and went through rodeos, and we had a blast, right? It's technology at the end of the day. So I feel AI is definitely here to stay, and I'm extremely excited to see what it has to offer. I feel also automation and innovation and digitizing these workspaces. So what Figma is doing today is outstanding, right? Create designs, boom, shoot it out. What Framer already did, designer can dispatch their own websites, and that's why we're seeing insane websites from standard designers that would have never been able to develop this before, or they would have broke their backs to be able to develop it. So the landscape is changing, and it's changing extremely aggressive. But I think now we're in the pre-start phase, not even in the start phase, where maybe next year, the year after, or the year after, we'll start seeing the real use cases of how to use these technologies and tools. And that's where, the whole ecosystem is going to really dive into developing, creating a new market, new business ideas, creating a whole world we didn't know exists.
Yeah, I think that's you're spot on with that idea. That I also agree that we're only just scratching the surface right now. And as exciting as the last 10 to 12 months has been in the AI space and the improvements and innovation that we've seen, it's only just getting started. If
Absolutely.
Karim, if our viewers and listeners want to reach out to yourself, connect with you, connect with the broader team at Above the Fold, where is the best place for them to do that?
Well, they could contact me on my email, karim@abovethefold.tech. They could contact our, Jenna at contact@abovethefold.tech. They could reach out on LinkedIn. They could, just drop in a message on our website. We're always ready, even LinkedIn, if they want to reach out to me in person and start a side conversation, go for it. I'm always here to have exciting conversations. I'm aggressive to constantly meet innovative ideas and founders, and there's no better feeling when you have a product builder at the other side of the chat, right? They're excited, they're aggressive, they want to get things moving. This energy fuels us. It really does. So anywhere on any of our socials would do the job. Absolutely.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast today. It's been a very interesting discussion diving into Above the Fold and its journey over the last 10 years, but also sort of scratching your thoughts on the market in general and what's to come. So thank you so much for making the time.
Thank you for having me, Lawrence. This was definitely fun.
That's it for today's episode of the Aegance Offscript Podcast. If this conversation sparked something, a thought, a question, or a new way of seeing your own business, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below. We'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.